Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Arvada City Council meeting for today, Tuesday, May 6, 2025. I will call upon Councilmember Pfeiffer for a moment of silence and the pledge.
Please join me in a moment of silent reflection. And now for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rush, if you'll do the roll call.
Mayor Simpson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Mormon.
Here.
Councilmember Ambrose. Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Pfeiffer.
Here.
Councilmember Marriott.
Here.
Councilmember Rupert.
Here.
Councilmember Pfeiffer.
I'll make the motion to excuse Councilmember Ambrose from tonight.
Thank you. All votes are cast. That passes 6-0. Councilmember Ambrose is an excused absence. Thank you very much. Next, we have the approval of the minutes for April 15th and April 22nd. Are there any corrections or edits from the council? Seeing none, those stand approved. And we have several recognitions and communications this evening. We're going to kick it off with Councilmember Pfeiffer for a proclamation of Poppy Month.
All right, our favorite month. Everyone get their dollars out. So, members of the American Legion Auxiliary, Wilmer Richter, Unit 161?
Yes.
All right. So, City Council will proclaim May 2025 as Poppy Month in Arvada. The poppy flower adorned the battlefields of Flanders Fields in France during World War I and was looked upon by those serving as a living symbol of their fallen comrades' sacrifice. In 1920, after World War I, the poppy became the official flower of the American Legion family to memorialize the soldiers who fought and died during the war. And distribution of poppy became a Legion national program in 1924. To this day, thanks in large part of the American Legion Auxiliary, the poppy is nationally recognized and worn as a symbol of sacrifice made by the men and women who served, thank you, and died for their country during wartime. We have a proclamation, I'll read it. Whereas the sacrifices of those who have lost their lives, their health, or their livelihood as a result of their military service are rightly the concern of all citizens, and whereas the annual sale of poppy by the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 161 offers an opportunity for people of this community to express their solicitude. I think I got that out. Thank you very much. For those unfortunate persons who have paid more than their share of cost of freedom. And whereas the proceeds of this worthy fundraising campaign are used exclusively for the benefit of disabled and needy veterans and the widows and orphans of deceased veterans in the desire to honor the dead by helping the living. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor and the city council of the city of Arvada, Colorado, that the month of May 2025 be designated Poppy Month in Arvada. Section 1, the Arvada City Council encourages all residents to participate in Poppy Month and to wear a poppy as mute evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country who have risked or lost their lives in fulfilling their obligations as American citizens. The Arvada City Council recognizes the merits of the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 161, and we date this the 6th day of May 2025, signed by the mayor and all of City Council, and I'll bring down your proclamation.
Thank you. We'll invite you to make a few comments if you wish.
On behalf of the American Legion Auxiliary, Unit 161, we thank you. As Mr. Pfeiffer mentioned, all proceeds that we collect tonight will go within the state of Colorado to veterans and their families. It may go to the VA hospital, where we'll buy T-shirts, underwear, socks, for people who are being admitted through the ER and they don't have any clothes. we will have those there for them to wear and take home with them. We do it for the families. We do it for the homeless veterans that we all have in our communities. So 100% of these funds will be used to that. It may, depending on how much we collect, may go towards the honor flight, which we all know is for veterans going to DC. So it can go for a variety of everything, but it will be used for veterans. So we greatly appreciate your help with this. I'm Jeanette Scott. I'm the Secretary Treasurer for the auxiliary. The not so little one anymore, as you all know, since she's been doing it since she was 3 or 4, is my granddaughter Leanne, who is a junior member of the auxiliary, and then her mother Amanda is helping her. So that is my party, and she's a big help at the unit. So in Flounders Field is the poppy blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flounders Fields. To take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flounders Field. And then the other one that I really like, my poppy is red. A poppy to remember those heroes gone before. Red is for the blood men and women shed on a foreign land, their life blood given for another as they took their stand. Black for death that comes and takes the breath of the hero away, as they fight for freedom, fight for peace, and fight to live another day. And evergreen to symbolize the memory will stay, the sacrifice will not be forgotten on this Remembrance Day, which I think is May 20th this year, is the National Remembrance Day. You wear a poppy to remember those heroes who fought and died. Red, black, and green together, wear your poppy with pride. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we're changing things up a little bit tonight, and I will actually be doing a proclamation. Thanks to Councilmember Pfeiffer for nudging me to do it. He knows childhood and young families are one of my core passions. So I will be doing the proclamation for National Child Care Provider Appreciation Day. Whereas the Early Child Partnership of Adams County, Triad Early Childhood Council, and other organizations nationwide are recognized child care providers to this day, and whereas the child care system supports children's growth, development, and educational advancement and creates positive economic impact for families and communities. Whereas child care providers are essential to the health of our communities by fostering welcoming spaces, support working families, and creating positive, enriching environments where children can develop lifelong skills. And whereas the City of Arvada recognizes that child care has been and continues to be a lifeline for families, communities, and the economy, and is often under-resourced and undervalued, amen to that one. And whereas support for affordable, accessible, high-quality childcare represents a worthy commitment to help families work, support children's healthy development and learning, and keep our economy growing. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor, myself, and the Arvada City Council that May 9th, 2025 be designated as Provider Appreciation Day in Arvada, and urge all citizens to recognize child care providers for their important work and how valuable they are for our communities. Dated this day, 6th of May, 2025. Do we have someone here to accept this proclamation? Please come forward.
Unfortunately, my co-member from Triad Early Childhood Council couldn't make it, but I did invite Jess Fuller from the Arvada Chamber to join me up here today. So Mayor and council members, on behalf of the Early Childhood Council of Adams County, as well as Triad Early Childhood Council and the Arvada Chamber of Commerce, we want to thank you for recognizing May 9th as Early Care and Education Provider Day. Early care and education professionals work in various settings, including licensed family child care homes and centers. During COVID, these professionals were recognized as essential to help ensure that families could work and our communities could continue to access the services they need. We know that while COVID is behind us, this workforce remains essential for all of us to go about our daily lives. From going to the grocery store to getting gas, the businesses in this community rely on working parents, and therefore everyone in this room relies on childcare being available and affordable. Further, we know that children who attend early care and education programs are engaged in activities and relationships with others that are building the foundation for their future success and their ability to be contributing members to our society. Most young children have all parents in the workforce, and yet we only have the capacity between Adams County and Jefferson County to provide licensed childcare to 13% of our infants, 30% of our toddlers, and 86% of our preschoolers. Wait lists for infant care is anywhere from 6 to 18 months long. This lack of capacity leaves our families scrambling and sometimes making hard decisions about whether to return to work. With Councilmember Davis, we have been working with a father who came forward to us who lives in Arvada in unincorporated Adams County, who has been struggling with this issue, and he and his wife are trying to make the hard decision about whether they can even afford to have a second child. What may be contributing to this lack of capacity is that in the last 4 years, other industries such as fast food and retail have increased their wages by 5 to 9%, while early care and education provider wages have increased by only 3%. And early care and education provider wages are in the bottom 5% for all occupations. Additionally, many do not have any access to benefits. However, these providers come to work with love and passion for the work they do. Despite the challenges I've noted here, they recognize the importance of their job on the development of children, the economic stability of families, and the economic stability of this community. They provide safe and nurturing and educationally rich environments for our youngest citizens. And because of that, we recognize and appreciate them not only on May 9th, but every day they show up to work. Thank you.
I will also note, it is also Teacher Appreciation Week. So I see a lot of young people in the audience tonight. Be sure to thank your teachers when you go back to school tomorrow. With that, Councilmember Marriott, you have our National Drinking Water Week proclamation.
Thank you. Arvada City Council will designate the week of May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as Drinking Water Week in Arvada. I think we have some members of the Arvada Infrastructure Department here. If you'll come on up to the podium, and I will read this proclamation. Whereas drinking water is a vital natural resource essential to the health, safety, and well-being of our Arvada community, and whereas the City of Arvada is committed to providing high-quality drinking water to protect public health, aid in fire protection, and support our economy and quality of life, and whereas we recognize the importance of protecting our water sources, investing in water infrastructure, and bringing awareness to the public about the value of water, and whereas National Drinking Water Week provides an opportunity to highlight the critical role water plays in our daily lives and thank the dedicated individuals who help ensure our water is safe and reliable. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Arvada, Colorado, that May 4th through 10th, 2025 be designated as Drinking Water Week, and encourage all Arvada community members to learn more about their drinking water. Dated the 6th day of May, 2025, and signed by the Mayor and all members of City Council. And I'll bring it down, and if one of you would like to say a few words, I would appreciate that.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. From myself and all of our city team members who are not just dedicated to the city of Arvada, but committed to the importance of our work every day to ensure that the safety of the drinking water we supply and protecting the environment and downstream users by ensuring proper stormwater and sewer operations. I'm Brad Wyant, the city's water treatment manager, and I'm honored to have worked for the city of Arvada Water Treatment Plant for the past 38 years. Drinking Water Week honors and highlights the city's commitment to providing safe, high-quality drinking water through the dedicated staff who provides 24/7 operations 365 days a year. The drinking water process starts with water resources to ensure we have adequate supply of water for treatment. Water treatment is where we send the water through multiple processes to treat the water to meet and improve upon all regulatory requirements and make safe, good tasting water for our customers. Water system operations, who ensures the drinking water makes it to the customer's taps while ensuring quality, pressure, and sufficient volume to meet demands, including fire protection. Stormwater and wastewater collections, who ensure the runoff and wastewater continues to flow properly through the city of Arvada. And the city of Arvada utilities engineering team and inspection team work diligently to help us overcome aging infrastructure, meet current challenges, and ensure resilience for our systems for generations to come. We thank the City Council for the support of our utility systems and the projects we have and are undertaking. Some of the projects we have successfully completed this past year include our Ralston Water Treatment Plant filter, solids handling, and our Arvada Plant clarifier rehab projects. These projects have been extensive, but helps us continue to produce high-quality drinking water for several years to come and ensures resiliencies that we did not have before. The 3.5 million gallon Ralston storage tank baffling project ensures we continue to meet certain regulatory requirements, even if we have to take the second of the Ralston storage tanks out of service. The lead and galvanized service line replacement program is underway. This program protects our customers and ensures we meet EPA state regulations regarding the lead and copper rule revision. New Zephyr tank is now in service and provides an additional 1 million gallons of drinking water storage. The new Canyon Pines pump station and updated Ransom pump station went into service and are running well to date. Ralston Creek at Crow Canal improvements is helping to protect our water rights, our pump station, and the surrounding area from future floods. For those interested in learning more about the city's water quality, our annual water quality report was posted on the city's website on May 5th. Thank you, Council, for all your support in the city's water utilities and honoring the week of May 4th as Drinking Water Week.
Do we want to do the photo up here? Come on. Thank you, Water and Infrastructure Team, for all that you do. Next, Councilmember Rupert has the proclamation for Mental Health Month.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council will be proclaiming the month of May 2025 as Mental Health Month. I understand Olivia Lawson is here from Jefferson Center for Mental Health. Perhaps you'd join me up front and I'll read the proclamation as you come down. Whereas good mental health is essential to the overall health and emotional well-being of all children, youth, adults, and families, and promotes a healthy community. And whereas nearly 1 in 4 people in our communities experience a mental health condition each year, and more than 17% of individuals in our communities experience substance use disorder each year, including alcohol and drug use. And whereas the lack of awareness of where to seek support and stigma against mental health conditions and substance use disorders prevents many people from accessing care, and when mental health problems and substance use disorders are detected early and treated, people can recover and maintain a healthy and independent life. And whereas increased focus on the prevention of mental health conditions and substance use disorders among children, adolescents, and adults through screening and early intervention helps reduce suffering and improves lives. And whereas it's imperative that all members of our community, irrespective of age, gender, expression, sexual identification, race, culture, ethnic background, education, or economic status, have equitable access to essential care, support, and services for mental health and substance use conditions. And whereas the City of Arvada is dedicated to improving the health and well-being of its citizens and employees by increasing awareness, ending stigma, and focusing on the integral role of mental health in all of our lives. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and the Arvada City Council hereby designates the month of May 2025 as Mental Health Month and call upon all citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our communities and resources to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, providing appropriate and accessible services for all citizens, and making mental health a priority. Dated the 6th day of May, 2025, and signed by council and the mayor.
Okay. So I'm supposed to hold this in the picture. I was like, do I have to bring it up there with me? Thank you. And I've got some words to say as well. Please. Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia Lawson, and I'm the Clinical Quality Manager at Jefferson Center for Mental Health. On behalf of everyone at the center, from our dedicated board and staff to the wonderful people we serve, that we have the privilege to serve, I want to thank you for declaring May as Mental Health Month in the city of Arvada. Each year, Jefferson Center serves more than 25,000 people, thanks to the power of partnerships with over 150 community organizations like the city of Arvada. Mental Health Month has been a cornerstone of advocacy since it began in 1949, and now more than ever will play a critical role in raising awareness and advocating for the support and funding for life-saving mental health programs and services in our community. The support of our communities ensures that we can continue to provide services to those who need it most in our communities through vital care such as therapy, counseling, substance use services, crisis services, wellness classes, and community trainings such as mental health first aid and QPR. Maintaining good mental health is fundamental to overall well-being, and it's something that affects us all. Mental health conditions are common and treatable. In fact, 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health condition in any given year, and challenges in life can impact anyone's mental health. Despite the prevalence of these challenges, many people will not seek help due to the stigma or lack of awareness about available resources. This is where your support for Mental Health Month becomes truly invaluable. By raising awareness, speaking out against stigma, and advocating for funding and support, we can create a community where seeking mental health support is met with empathy and understanding, and people can receive the care they need when they need it. Mental health care is vital to each of us feeling connected and supported, which leads to the strengthening of our communities as a whole. Your support is absolutely vital, and we deeply appreciate your recognition of Mental Health Month and your ongoing partnership with Jefferson Center. None of the important work that we do would be possible without your support. Thanks once again for your commitment to mental health awareness and for standing alongside us in creating a healthier, more resilient community. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem Mormon, you have the proclamation for Foster Care Awareness Month.
Thank you, Mayor. I believe Britt Kelly is here with us. Please come forward. Britt is with Colorado Kids Belong, and I will read the proclamation. Whereas our children in foster care deserve to have a safe, stable, and loving family where they can thrive and find belonging while they wait to return home or find a new permanent home. And whereas kinship and foster parents provide a valuable service in our community by opening their hearts and homes to these children and are in vital need of the support of the community. And whereas foster parents play a unique role with birth families who need time to overcome challenges and time to be whole again. And whereas we want to thank and highlight the large and diverse community of nonprofit organizations, businesses, civic groups, public servants, and individuals who are committed to the cause of caring for and raising awareness of the needs of children and youth in foster care. And whereas the Arvada City Council recognizes the vital role foster parents play in the lives of children and youth in foster care, and the roles caseworkers in the community play in shaping the lives of children and youth in foster care. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and the Arvada City Council that May 2025 be designated as Foster Care Awareness Month in Arvada, dated the 6th day of May 2025.
We have a lot of people here who would like to be a part of the picture. Okay, wonderful.
Then, come on up. In fact, do you want to do it up here? Yeah, do it, everybody. Come on.
Thank you to Mayor Simpson, Mayor Pro Tem Mormon, and the rest of the City of Arvada Council. My name is Britt Kelly, and I work for an organization called Colorado Kids Belong. And our mission is to dramatically change the experience and outcomes for kids in foster care. And this mission is very dear to my heart because not only do we have many friends that are connected, but as a child, I was in the foster care system. So I have a unique perspective of the challenges that kids in foster care face. And in fact, in Colorado, in the nation, in our county, in this city, there are currently not enough families to care for the kids that are entering into foster care. And when that happens, when there aren't enough people opening up their hearts and homes to these kids, and there isn't enough community support to support the families caring for them, 50% of foster parents quit. We see that kids are bounced around. They are separated from their friends, from their school, from their neighborhood, and when that happens, it can lead to an even darker path for them. If they age out of foster care without finding secure belonging within a family, within a supportive community, they end up having many social issues. Some end up trafficked, living on the streets. Some take their own lives, and others will lose their own kids to the foster care system, and it starts that process all over again. But we don't have to let these kids be forgotten. We don't have to let these kids be unseen. In fact, everybody in this community has a vital role to play to support the families caring for the kids and the kids in their homes. And so what we want to do is rally the entire community around these kids so that they can find loving, supportive families to belong to until they can be reunified with their family of origin. We want to see businesses involved, offering discounts and supports. We want to see faith communities supporting. We want to see nonprofits collaborating. We want to see elected officials using their voice to advocate for the kids in foster care. and the families that are caring for them. And many people who showed up today are caring for these kids, are part of these faith communities, are part of these businesses. And so I encourage the residents of the city of Arvada to do what they can to engage in this mission and care for the kids in foster care and the families. It isn't that difficult. There's many ways to plug in, and so I encourage people to engage with Colorado Kids Belong, find out where they can be plugged in. And once again, thank you so much. Very fitting for you, Mr. Mormon, to be giving the proclamation, and I appreciate your support.
Thank you, Britt. Really appreciate that. And as a big advocate for foster families and all the work that you do, being a former foster parent, I really appreciate your work and echo your remarks and encouraging everyone to be involved and supportive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finally, Councilmember Davis has our proclamation for National Preservation Month.
Yes, this is wonderful. I just love that May is action-packed with really important activities and recognitions. So this is just yet another important recognition, and it is for National Preservation Month. And I see that board member Craig Haggett is here, and board president from the Arvada Historical Society, Judith Denham, is here. So I shall read the proclamation. Whereas the National Trust for Historic Preservation declared the month of May as National Preservation Month, and whereas Arvada is a community rich in history, both physical assets and events that have shaped our lives today, and whereas preserving this history informs the community about our foundation, enriching current and future residents, and whereas the City of Arvada is committed to preserving our history as documented in official plans and ordinances. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Arvada, Colorado, that May 2025 be designated National Preservation Month to acknowledge the importance of preserving our historic legacy. And we encourage all Arvada citizens to learn about our historic legacy. Dated this 6th day of May 2025.
Thank you, Sharon. I want to also recognize that Sharon is one of our directors. Mayor and city councilors, the Arvada Historical Society is honored to accept this proclamation. Preservation of Arvada's history, contribution to Colorado's history has always been and is still a cornerstone of the society's mission, with the support of the City of Arvada. Our first physical preservation effort was to place the Arvada flour mills on the National Register of Historic Places in 1975. We have continued for over 50 years and continue today our preservation efforts through building our programs and projects focused on preserving Arvada's unique history. One of those programs, speaking of water, one of those programs is our New History Speaks series. Ever wonder about all those open ditches crisscrossing Arvada? Come find out on May 17th at the Elks Club about, as we present our first of the series, the Ditches of Arvada. That's part of our new series, the History Speaks series. We are excited to team up with the Arvada Press and Colorado Community Media on this project, and our panel of water experts will explore Arvada's fascinating ditch history and why today we have 42 ditches and how those ditches turn dry land into rich farming heritage, which led to building this city. It's at the Elks Club from 10:30 on Saturday, May 17th. Come join us.
Thank you very much. We have no additional proclamations this evening, so I will move us into our presentation from the Arvada Arts and Culture presentation and welcome up Kimberly Wagner, President, and Sarah Kolb, the Secretary of the Commission.
Good afternoon. Is this just 1 second? Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Happy to be here this evening. Sarah and I really wanted to take the opportunity to reintroduce the Arts and Culture Commission and share a little bit about the responsibilities or key responsibilities, some of our recent initiatives and accomplishments, as well as our 2025 goals. With that, so pictured, you can see the current Arts and Culture Commission in front of our recently completed mural at Garrison Street.
This is a first.
Well,
So I don't know if we're getting the symbol to keep going. So
Okay.
for those watching at home, I'm assuming we're still live streaming. Lights have gone out, but they seem to be returning in City Hall. So we're going to keep going through this. Yay.
wonderful. Making sure I was paying attention. All right. We've got this. All right. So really wanted to share, this is the current commission. We use the arts to create deeply connected communities. Our mission is stated here, but what I'd really like to say rather than reading this is that our goal overarching is to try and bring art or an artful experience or a piece of art within 10 minutes of any resident in Arvada. And so we continue to look at where we place art and make sure that we're balanced in whether that's on the west side, the east side, in the middle, Old Town, and that really is our overarching theme. One of our main responsibilities, while this isn't, the most exciting item, we are really responsible for keeping all of the arts collection for Arvada and keeping that maintained. We do partner with a company called Pacific Coast. We've worked with them for about 5 years. It's a conservation company, and they help us to clean and maintain art in the city's collection, as well as treatment, repair of damaged artworks. And so the commission does, on an annual basis, we'll walk all of the art in Arvada, look at that, and then in collaboration with that company, decide what needs to be done. We do have over 200 current artworks in the city's collection, and that is growing all the time. We have a great partnership with Old Town. I'm sure many of you have spent hours and hours meetings and opening new businesses and such in the Old Town community, and hopefully seen a lot of the art that we've helped collaborate on or bring to the city. I know the 3 areas, one of them is pictured even as you walk. We've tried to incorporate art in the city in that fashion as well as the buildings and some of the electric boxes that you've seen. Our short story machine, we during the pandemic, a lot of thought was given to thinking about how we could continue to bring art in different mediums to the city and the community. And so visual arts is what you always think of, but we thought of, is there a way to bring more of a written form of art in a place where someone might not anticipate experiencing art? And so we purchased the short edition dispenser, and this has been located throughout Arvada. Really excited to report that it is popular. Over 2,700 stories, poems, or pieces of literature are shared on an annual basis. It's really cool. You push a button, and literally either a 1-minute, 3-minute, or 5-minute piece of literature pops out. It's on like a piece of receipt paper, a little bit thicker than that, and someone can take it with them. They can read it wherever they are. We've really had a goal of trying to bring it. As you can see, it's been in brew pubs, coffee houses, the community college. It's currently at the Majestic View Nature Center, and we do rotate that approximately every 90 days. And it's been popular. A lot of businesses do want it in their place of business, so we're excited about that. Lastly, just wanted to remind for those of you who may not be aware, the landmark exhibit, that also during the pandemic, we really wanted to try to continue to bring art throughout the city. And so we partnered with a couple of curators to activate art in 13 different parks across Arvada. And one of those is located, actually, it's right near my house. I walk by that every single day. What was really exciting this year that we wanted to mention was that several of these artists have permanently donated the art to our collection in Arvada. And you'll see that 5 of the 13 artists did actually live in Arvada. Next, I'd like to toss it over to Sarah, who is going to give us some highlights of our recent mural activity.
Thanks, Kimberly, and thanks all of you for giving us the opportunity to brag a little bit about our public art program and the amazing work that's been happening in the last couple of years. So if you don't know, murals and public art like this beautiful piece pictured here is relatively new to our community. In 2020, the Land Development Code was changed to allow full-scale murals to be painted in Arvada for the first time. This was an involvement with city officials and city staff, and something the commission really advocated for. And when that change happened, we, as the commission, really realized that we had to spend some time developing a process for having murals in our space, knowing that they were something that bring a lot of value and that businesses and other community members would really want to see in our neighborhoods. So we spent some time kind of looking at best practices for other cities and municipal programs that have public art programs, developing a process which we're really proud of, and we've had a lot of opportunity, particularly in the last year, to test it out and put it to the test, where we do a call for entry and involve community members in jurying and selecting pieces of public art, scouting sites, for locations of murals, and also best practices for things like pricing murals out and protecting murals with graffiti coat, so if murals get damaged, they're easier to repair after they're up. I want to highlight up here a couple of the mural projects that the commission has either funded entirely or collaborated with businesses and entities like the Old Town Business Improvement District to create in the last couple of years. I think this is pretty comprehensive at this point, and some of them, like the mural that's on the post office, was something that we funded entirely, and the nutrition building mural, which is relatively new, is something we collaborated with the bid to be able to make happen. So the structures, and they happen in different ways depending on how the murals arrive to us. Murals are really an amazing way to develop community identity and making cities more vibrant, engaging, and meaningful. They help raise property values, they create a sense of community, they can beautify urban spaces. They're really powerful ways to express historical and cultural identity. They can tell stories about the communities in which we live. They raise awareness about social issues, and they inspire creativity. And now I'm just going to highlight a couple of recent mural projects that either are finished or are close to being finished at the moment. And this may be familiar to some of you because I was here maybe in February to brag a little bit about the Garrison Street mural, but it was so wonderful that I want to mention it again. And this project, it's along Ralston Creek, not too far from City Hall. It began as a proposal from a neighborhood group called the Flower Street Folks, and a couple of the people in this neighborhood group wanted to have a piece of public art in their neighborhood to help get their neighbors to know each other and to help fight loneliness and create connection. And this proposal and this idea made its way to the commission, and we were just really excited by the fact that they saw public art as a way for them all to connect and become stronger as neighbors and feel proud of their neighborhood. The neighbors, their proposal, they wanted a mural that was interactive and also reflected the ecology of Ralston Creek, which is really special about this particular part of Arvada and our community. So we ended up hiring Katie Michelle, who's the artist up here. She's also an environmental educator, and she developed a proposal and ended up doing the final mural, which I think maybe oh no, that's the only photo, sorry. But is this really beautiful mural that depicts many of the species that live in the creek. She hosted public nature walks and had 2 public painting days where the community showed up to take part, which I think this is where this is a photo of. So it was a really collaborative process where people took part in making this beautiful piece of art happen. And that's finished as of a couple weeks ago. So if you walked in that direction, please go check it out. We're really proud of it. The next piece is something we're calling the Quaker Street mural, which is in an underpass along the bike trail in the western side of town. And this site proposal also came from a community member, someone who used the bike trails and paths and suggested the bike path location to the commission. And we ended up hiring artist Anna Charney, who developed this really beautiful, immersive kind of kaleidoscope design that's on the walls now. What excited me the most about this project was I think it did such a cool job of integrating public art into the trail systems that are such a wonderful part of our community and that are used so often by people who live here. So it's people who are enjoying our outdoor spaces and our parks are also then getting to experience public art. And finally, in 2021, one of the first big mural projects that the commission worked on was this project called Babe Walls. And so in 2021, Babe Walls brought 28 women and non-binary artists who created 15 new murals, also along Ralston Creek Trail. And they had companion events in Old Town Arvada that supported small businesses and brought new visitors. It was a really exciting, collaborative mural festival. Unfortunately, some of those murals were damaged in the last couple of years and they needed some repair. Some of that was just weather and some of that was tagging and things like that. And we took the opportunity to have an artist called Danielle Seawalker refresh some of the wall and do a new piece, which is pictured here. Danielle, she's an Indigenous artist, and her new refreshed design has her really iconic native pop art style. So we're really proud of that. I think that mural is also finished and is a really special piece of cultural storytelling, and also it's just really fun and playful, and we're really proud to show it off. I believe that's turning it back over to you to talk about our goals.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. So we wanted to present our goals in a couple of themes. So information sharing is what you're seeing on the slide, and really want to highlight the one that I think is near and dear to our hearts on the commission right now. We are really committed to trying to build, in collaboration with city resources, a public art map in a digital view where we have a QR code. In addition to that, building out a brochure where we envision that being housed at the hotels, at the visitor center, Chamber of Commerce, really both for our community members to be able to find all of the different artworks and read a little bit about them, but also for visitors to our town. Definitely, if people are out and about, it's proven. Sarah and I just got back from the Colorado Creative Commission, heard several different mayors from different cities talking about their programs. And it's so interesting to look at that tax implication and the revenue that it brings in when people are out and about enjoying that and seeing the art and potentially visiting our retail stores and going to restaurants. It does have tax revenue implications. And so the more we can spread out the art and bring people to those in our communities to it, as well as visitors, I think it's a win-win. So we're super excited about that initiative, and that is I would say, all of these things are important. We are trying to be more visible, certainly, but I wanted to really highlight that one for you. In the public art projects, wanted to highlight just a couple of things. The Leiden Rock mural is slated, that's around 82nd Avenue. Again, that was, brought to our attention by a community member. It's been really cool just to see all of the collaboration and all of the interest now that community members are seeing art and murals. Like, hey, what about this space? What about our neighborhood? So that is starting in September, and we're super excited. This is a visual concept, so to speak. May not be exactly what it's going to look like, but wanted to give you a little bit of a preview. In addition, the other one I wanted to highlight is we're so excited. We've been in talks with Babe Walls, and they are interested in coming back to Arvada in 2026. And so just in the next, I think it's in the next 2 weeks, several of the commission members are going on some site field trips to begin on the west side, looking, we don't have a lot of murals on the west side, so we're going to be targeting that, potentially where there's trails, bike trails, where people can enjoy that, and try and identify some sites so that we can be ahead of that and work for that towards 2026. With that, we just wanted to open it up if there were any questions. We know we shared a lot, but we really wanted to just give a snapshot of all that's been going on.
Are there any questions from council? No, I just want to quickly commend you for all of this. The public art has as you noted, a significant economic boon potential, but Additionally, it just has a really positive effect on the psychological, mental, and emotional health of our residents. When you finish the Quaker Street underpass, I got some really, really lovely emails from residents of that neighborhood being like, I've never emailed the city before, but thank you. And we don't get a lot of those, so thank you. We appreciate that. So just great job. I love this rendering for the Layton Rock mural. I think that's absolutely beautiful, so I look forward to seeing it finished. And thank you for all your hard work.
Feedback. Thank you.
And I also want to thank Adele Burton, who's our city staff liaison, who helped organize our appearance here tonight.
Yay, Adele.
And it's right there.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, that closes our presentations for this evening. Next, we have public comment. This is the 3-minute public comment for members of the public for items not currently on the agenda. I'll quickly note that this is your opportunity to speak to us, your council members. We are not allowed to speak back at this time, but if you require follow-up, we will have either one of us or a member of our city team will be in touch with you. We have your information. I ask that you give your name and your address quickly when you come up to the podium. And finally, we always ask that people remain respectful. We don't want to deter anyone from being able to speak what they want to say. And so we always encourage no applause, no booing, none of that. Just allow people to be able to speak with a polite atmosphere. So with that, I will call up Susan Mueller.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Susan Mueller, and I live in Fieldstone in West Arvada. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you again tonight. I volunteer with Mission Arvada's Severe Weather Shelter. I just wanted to say I'm an engineer, and I like data. I make data-driven decisions in my life, and maybe you're like me, and you're looking for data to guide your thinking. Stories are powerful, but data gives us context we need to make sound decisions. So here are a few numbers that speak to the value Mission Arvada provides to our city. When the city explored converting the early college into a full-time navigation center, the projected operating costs that I had heard was $5 million a year. Mission Arvada operates both a day shelter and an emergency overnight shelter, and while we aren't open 24/7, we offer many of the same core services the city envisioned for the full-time navigation center. Meals, case management, showers, overnight emergency shelter, restrooms, clothing, and community support at just 16% of that projected estimated cost that the navigation center would have cost. That's only $800,000. And by the way, last year we served over 900 unique individuals at our day shelter. For comparison, Lakewood spends approximately $300,000 a year on overnight sheltering alone. Our overnight shelter operates on roughly $150,000 a year, which is included in the $800,000 I just mentioned previously. We have compassionate volunteers that know the names of our guests and make personal impacts on their lives. We heard concerns from local businesses and from St. Anne's School, and I want to clearly say I understand those concerns. As a parent, I would be frightened if someone passed something to my child through a fence. That incident was real and unsettling. But removing Mission Arvada doesn't remove homelessness. If we're pushed out or we don't have sufficient funds to continue, our unhoused neighbors lose vital services: bathrooms, case management, food, clothing, a place to belong. The people we serve don't disappear. They just lose the support that helps keep them stable and connected. And if we leave, the risk to the city only grows. What happens if a child shows up at St. Anne's Shrine and finds someone frozen to death on the steps? That's not just tragic, it's a public crisis. That's a headline Arvada doesn't want to see. And right now, Mission Arvada helps prevent that. We provide restrooms, something no other nearby facility consistently offers, especially with the library set to close for renovations. Businesses are already concerned about people defecating in the alleys, and without us, the problem only gets worse, not better. Mission Arvada isn't the problem, it's part of the solution. If the city is serious about addressing the homelessness in compassionate, reasonable, and fiscally smart ways, I urge you to continue working with Mission Arvada's leadership to find a path forward, so we can keep serving our unhoused neighbors and solve this problem together. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Alejandra Tobar.
Hello, good afternoon. So glad to be here. I grew up in a dictatorship in Chile and Santiago, and I had the opportunity to come to this country because my mother was born in Chicago, and so therefore was granted citizenship. And times are changing, so while I have liberty and life, I am grateful for this opportunity to engage in the democratic process. Oftentimes, let me just say this, I've been heartened by the agenda today because it shows this balance between, this bittersweet balance between hard truths that we can face together and also what we can do to rally around it. I realized that when I came here that my anger towards this country's inactions, so the US government helped to overthrow my government in Chile, and I realized that there was a lot of misinformation or a lot of ignorance about that issue. And so I am here because Chile has one of the largest Palestinian populations outside of the Arab world. And so when I look at a Palestinian, I see my cousins, I see my family. When I came here to Texas, when I immigrated in Texas and got to love and learn about this land, I was supported by the Jewish community in my exploration of my spirituality. And I loved being immersed in that culture. And right now I sit here because my family and my Palestinian family and siblings and cousins are being murdered, and my Jewish friends and family are less safe. And so I wonder, Arvada, I wonder if we can say no to genocide. I wonder if we can say stop to sending billions of dollars so that an armed force can experiment on bodies, on our delicate skin. I'm so grateful for the water that I have in my body tonight. As a settler here, I'm grateful for standing on this earth and breathing the air and not fearing that this building will be collapsed or wondering whether we will survive better if we are here or out there talking and building our communities together. I had all sorts of notes, but time is fleeting, and thank you. So I'll just end with naming also settler attacks that are going. And the Israeli Committee Against House Demolitions has noted 55,000 Palestinian structures have been razed just since 2022. So just some numbers. I think I agree with the data being important. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Sharon Rowland.
I am Sharon Rowland, and I live in Scenic Heights, and I'm speaking in support of Mission Arvada at the Rising Church. I'm going to introduce you tonight to Anne. I first met Anne when I was with the Tuesday night team from Mean Street Ministry, going door to door at rundown motels, taking food, a resource directory, and praying with the homeless who were surviving day to day. Anne asked to talk to a woman, so I entered her room, and we sat and we talked. Except for brief encounters with homeless individuals on Tuesday nights, I had never really gotten to know someone deeply who was homeless. I had sympathy and compassion, but no desire to go further. But after meeting Anne that night, I came back the next day, and then at least 2 days a week for years. Sometimes we would just go for lunch or go to the DMV to try to get her documents replaced. She shared with me that she had grown up in Denver, so we drove past her home in central Old Denver, then by Sloan Lake, where she spent her teen years, just half a mile where I lived. Every time I picked her up, she looked like a well-dressed middle-class woman with a walker. She told me that she refused to look like she was homeless. She didn't want people to know. She didn't want to be treated differently. Anne was part Navajo, and her family's history went back to the first Spaniards to arrive in the Americas. She remembered gathering pine nuts with her grandmother around Taos. She was an accomplished dancer. She raised 2 sons on her own who excelled in school and learned to be entrepreneurial at an early age. Who was this woman who is now homeless? How could that happen? When she lived in Boise, she had a very successful brand selling salsa and fresh green chilies from New Mexico. She contracted a disease that put her into the hospital for a time and left her unable to walk without help. Anne ended up in Denver, close to her son, but still on her own. She opened my eyes to the world of homelessness. I could just as easily have been Anne with a single illness taking away everything. She kept trying to get back on her feet, but it was nearly impossible. But that did not stop her from trying. She had a goal in her life to walk the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage in Spain without her walker, and died of untreated E. coli in 2021. I've been serving at the Rising since it started providing meals to the homeless. I know several people there. Scotty lived in a chicken coop without the chickens.
Ma'am, I apologize. Your time is up, but I'll give you a few seconds to wrap up your thoughts, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Rising serves people like this who are very close to me. I hope I've given you a better understanding of homelessness through Anne's story. I want to commend you for your efforts and tell you that we do share a common goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finally, we have Zion Haver Nighty Manley. Oh, my apologies. I will put you into the 5-minute at the end. All right. Thank you. Is there anyone else in chambers who would like to speak at this time? Seeing none, I will close the public comment portion of this evening's agenda. Next, we have our consent agenda. There are 4 items on the consent agenda, beginning with R25-039, a resolution authorizing an agreement by and between the City of Arvada and America West Construction, LLC, for construction services related to Sims Tank Vault and 80th valve replacement, project number 23-WA-12, in an amount not to exceed $2,092,844. R25-040, a resolution authorizing a construction management general contractor agreement by and between the City of Arvada and Garney Companies, Inc. for the water treatment plant replacement project, awarding Phase 1 services only in an amount not to exceed $1.2 million. R25-041, a resolution authorizing an agreement between the City of Arvada and Colorado Golf and Turf for leasing of golf carts, beverage, and utility vehicles at Westwoods Golf Club and Lake Arbor Golf Course in an amount not to exceed $1,488,401. And finally, R25-044, a resolution authorizing an employment agreement between the City of Arvada and Don Wick as city manager. Councilmember Pfeiffer.
I'd like to make the motion, but I also have comments after the vote, if you don't mind, Mayor.
All right, go ahead and make the motion, please.
I'd like to move to resolution on the consent agenda, Resolution 25-039, Resolution 25-040, 25-041, and Resolution 25-044 be approved.
All right, council is free to vote. Councilmember Pfeiffer, you wish to speak?
If you can show the vote, and then I'll...
Oh, well, Councilmember, okay, all right. That passes 6-0. Councilmember Pfeiffer?
Thank you. I just want to take a moment to recognize Linda for the last 9 months. Tonight, we did vote to a new city manager, and Linda, for you being the interim for the last 9 months. It's been that long. 10, okay, corrected.
10.
It feels like probably 10 years, but for the last however long, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your dedication to keeping the city moving forward, the support of the staff, the support of council. There's been trying times, there's been good times, there's been bad times, and you persevered through it all, and I genuinely appreciate your support during this transition. So I just wanted to publicly thank you.
Councilmember Davis.
Yes, thank you, Linda, and thank you, team. I know that sometimes herding this cat has been trying, but you really have done it with quite a bit of grace. understanding, and kindness. I can't speak enough about our team, and especially you, Linda. It's been such a great 10 months. You know, I was only on for a little while, and then all of a sudden there was a big change. And I think that staff really, really rolled with the punches and made it seamless. So I'm looking forward to the seam continuing on with Mr. Wick. So thank you so much for everything.
Mayor Pro Tem Mormon.
I will just echo, Linda, the comments of my fellow council members. It's been a pleasure working with you in this role, and I'm very excited that you continue to be working with us and back in your old role. But I think, you know, to underscore that being interim is challenging, and it can be a trying time, and I think you handled it with so much class and just really respect, and I have greater respect for you now. I did before, but I have greater respect for you now for taking that on and not batting an eye, and really providing the leadership we needed in that interim. So thank you for that, and excited for Dawn and providing our continued new leadership. So thank you.
I will just echo the comments of my colleagues, Ms. Haley. I have just really enjoyed these past 10 months, not only working with you and seeing your leadership style and your grace under fire, but also just getting to know you better, working more closely with you than we have had the opportunity to in the past. I've just come to appreciate so much as a person and as a friend, so I'm so glad we get to continue that and continue to work together. And Mr. Wick, I mean, you've been with the city for longer than any of us up here. For those in the audience who don't know, Mr. Wick is a former police chief. Then he was head of public works. Then he was the deputy city manager. His leadership, he was supported unanimously by our executive leadership team. He has really strong connections throughout the entire organization and the community. We are so excited to be working with you in this new role and to have you in your leadership for the future. So congratulations, Mr. Wick. Congratulations, Ms. Haley, 10 months. It's done. I'm sure you're going to be the biggest partier of all. And we have such a phenomenal team. And Ms. Morris, you as well. I know even though you're not in the manager's office, you're our attorney, I know your leadership was strong as well these past many months, and I want to recognize that as well. And our entire ELT, thank you all. All right, with that, we'll move forward. Congratulations, Mr. Wick. Yeah. We have two resolutions this evening. R25-042, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement for provision of juror list by and between the City of Arvada and the State of Colorado Judicial Department. Mr. Emmerine, you have this one. Assistant City Attorney.
Good evening, Mayor
Mr.
Simpson and
Jacks.
members of council. Mr. Emerine's under the weather tonight, so I'll be filling in for him.
Feel better, Patrick.
He will. This resolution is to provide what's called the juror wheel to the Arvada Municipal Court from the Office of the State Court Administrator. That office maintains master juror lists for the entire state of Colorado, and they make the portions of the juror list and in municipalities available at no cost, subject to the terms of a standard intergovernmental agreement. Under this agreement, the Office of the State Court Administrator will make the juror wheel available to the City of Arvada so that we can staff juries as needed. The team is recommending that council approve R25-042, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement for provision of juror list by and between the City of Arvada and the State of Colorado Judicial Department. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Councilmember Davis.
If there are no questions or discussions, I'll make the motion.
I see no other lights. It's all yours.
I move that R25-042, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement for provision of juror list by and between the City of Arvada and the State of Colorado Judicial Department be approved.
All votes are cast. That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence. Next, we have R25-043, a resolution authorizing a Colorado State Patrol Academy 2025 agreement for use of the Colorado State Patrol Academy driving track. Mr. Jacks, I believe you have this one as well.
Good evening again. This agreement will allow the Arvada Police Department to conduct driver training and certification testing for sworn officers and civilian personnel on the Colorado State Patrol's driving track located on South Table Mountain. Having spent a long time there as a young recruit trooper and an Arvada police officer, I can tell you it's a place to go and do things in a patrol car that you can't do on regular streets, which is the whole idea to have the agreement. Though the terms and consideration on this agreement are minimal, it is required to be approved by council as an intergovernmental agreement between the state of Colorado and the Arvada Police Department. The team is recommending that council approve our 25043, a resolution authorizing a Colorado State Patrol Academy 2025 agreement for the use of the Colorado State Patrol Academy driving track.
All right. Councilmember Davis?
If there are no questions, or, wait.
Councilmember Pfeiffer, do you have a question?
Can we amend that to let council join you?
I wish I was going.
I was hoping.
Councilmember Pfeiffer, it would be fun, but there's not much to do up there except drive cars and dodge rattlesnakes, so you have to be careful.
That would be so much fun.
Driving cars fun, rattlesnakes maybe not as much. Councilmember Davis?
Any other questions or discussions from council? Then I'd like to make the motion that R25-043, a resolution authorizing a Colorado State Patrol Academy 2025 agreement for the use of the Colorado State Patrol Academy driving track, be approved.
All votes are cast. That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence. Thank you very much. Next, we have first reading. Mayor Pro Tem Mormon.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that CB 25-009, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the City of Arvada, Colorado Wastewater Enterprise Revenue Bond Series 2025, and CB 25-010, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the City of Arvada, Colorado Water Enterprise Revenue Bond Series 2025, be approved on first reading, ordered, published in full, and a public hearing set for for Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 at 6:15 p.m.
Those Mondays are going to die hard for a while. All right, that passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being excused absence. Thank you very much. Next, we have our appointments. First, we'll go to Councilmember Davis for the appointment to the Metro Water Recovery Board.
Thank you. City Council will make two appointments to the Metro Water Recovery Board of Directors. One appointment will be to fill an unexpired term ending June 20th, 2025, and one appointment for a two-year term beginning July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2027. And we will make these in separate motions. So motion one, I move that Dominic Vesta, Deputy Director of Infrastructure Operations, be appointed to the Metro Water Recovery Board of Directors to fill an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2025.
That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence.
Second motion, I move that Dominic Vesta, Deputy Director of Infrastructure Operations, be appointed to the Metro Water Recovery Board of Directors for a two-year term beginning July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2027.
That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence. Congratulations, Ms. Vessa. Next, we'll go to Councilmember Rupert for the appointments to the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District Board.
Thank you, Your Honor. City Council will make two appointments to the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District Board for 3-year terms ending April 30th, 2028. I move to appoint Alyssa Rossi, owner of Addie Luna Boutique, to the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District Board for a 3-year term ending April 30, 2028.
Council will cast their votes. That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence.
And then I move to appoint Kim Whited, owner of Home Fill Company, to the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District Board for a 3-year term ending April 30, 2028.
That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence. Thank you very much, and congratulations to both of them as well. Great businesses if you've never been in. I love those. All right. Finally, I'm going to go to Mayor Pro Tem Mormon for the appointment to, or for the motion to cancel the May 2027 City Council meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. I understand we have no workshop for May 27th, so I move to cancel our May 27th, 2025 meeting.
That passes 6-0 with Councilmember Ambrose being an excused absence. Thank you very much. Next, I will open the public hearing for this evening's agenda. We have one public hearing, which is the hearing on the Consolidated Plan Submission for Housing and Community Development Programs 2025 to 2029 and the 2025 Annual Action Plan for the Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Programs. I'll open this item to Ms. Espinoza, our housing manager, to introduce it.
Council. A consolidated plan is a planning document required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Jefferson County, Lakewood, and Arvada partnered to develop the consolidated plan as the communities comprise the Jefferson County Consortium. The plan uses data and community outreach to determine the top housing needs, community development concerns, and gaps in supportive services for low to moderate income populations in the cities and counties. The document is produced every 5 years as a condition of receiving housing and community development funding. The document is available for public comment from April 16th through May 17th, 2025, and submitted to HUD in late May 25 or early June. The community development block grant funds are intended to 1, revitalize neighborhoods, 2, expand affordable housing and economic opportunities, and 3, improve community facilities. The typical annual CDBG allocation for Jefferson County is $1.05 million, $450,000 for Arvada, and $900,000 for Lakewood. The HOME program provides annual funding to create new affordable rental and ownership housing, maintain and rehabilitate existing affordable housing, and/or provide housing assistance to benefit low to moderate income persons. As the lead agency of the HOME Consortium, Jefferson County expects to receive $1 million in funding for the next 5 years. Home funds can be used in the urban county and cities of Lakewood and Arvada. Jefferson County's goals over the next 5 years include 1, to provide housing navigation and supportive services, 2, to construct and rehabilitate affordable rental housing, 3, to provide affordable home ownership opportunities, 4, to construct and revitalize public infrastructure and facilities, and 5, program administration. Arvada's goals over the next 5 years include 1, encourage the development and preservation of affordable and workforce housing, 2, maintain and improve neighborhoods, 3, support human services and resource development, and 4, CDBG program administration. Lakewood's goals over the next 5 years include 1, to construct and preserve affordable housing, 2, provide supportive services to low-income and special needs populations, 3, to improve neighborhoods and public facilities, and 4, CDBG program administration. Each jurisdiction's plan includes an estimated funding budget for each goal. Jefferson County, the City of Lakewood, and the City of Arvada invite comments from the public regarding the draft consolidated plans. Comments received will be reviewed and considered for the final draft of the consolidated plan. Mayor Simpson, I'll turn it over to you to open up the meeting for public comment.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience tonight who would like to provide public comment on this issue? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Is there anyone from council who has a discussion item or a question of Ms. Espinoza? Mayor Pro Tem Mormon.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the presentation and for this consolidated plan. My question is about the line item $242,500 for parks and recreation. How does that fit into our goals that you just outlined for us?
So that amount is planned to be used for Gold Strike Park. We are working with the Parks team to purchase Playscape for Gold Strike Park, and we feel that that falls under the parks recreational facilities and under the goal of, maintaining and improving neighborhoods in our plan. We want to be able to support that project. It would revitalize that area, provide improvements for that neighborhood. So that is something that we are working on over the next year.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Espinoza, I have a question. If somebody would like to participate in the home repairs program, how could they do that? Who do they contact?
We partner with Brothers Redevelopment for the Essential Home Repairs Program, so they can contact Brothers Redevelopment directly, or they can contact the city's housing division, and we're happy to put them in contact with the Essential Home Repairs Program. But yes, we are looking for low to moderate income homeowners who are in need of essential repairs to their homes. We will provide up to $20,000 in grant funds for those services.
And could you tell us a little bit more about what an essential home repair could be?
It could be a window replacement. We do furnace replacements, those critical repairs that are in need. It doesn't cover cosmetic, but those essential repairs that are needed within the home.
So if we have the summer coming, if somebody's air conditioning is out, that could be done?
Air conditioning, I would have to check whether that would qualify, but if someone is in need of air conditioning repair, they can certainly call Brothers Redevelopment, and they would walk them through that.
Okay. And what about accessibility improvements to the home?
That would actually qualify under a different partnership that we have with Brothers Redevelopment. That's the Safe and Accessible Arvada program, and we do offer up to $5,000 in those types of home rehab services.
Thank you. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you. Thank you for this, for the presentation. And I didn't write quickly enough, but you mentioned about supporting human services. Could you explain how that would happen, given that we do not have a human services department in Arvada?
Sure. So under the CDBG program, there's we can allocate up to 15% of our annual funding to public services. And we use that for the human services grants that we offer to nonprofits every year. We open up that, it's a competitive application process that opens in August of every year. So we are looking at, we're meeting with the Human Services Advisory Committee actually next Monday night to start that planning process. But nonprofits who offer low to moderate income offer services to low to moderate income households in Arvada are welcome to apply so we can support their work.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from council? All right, seeing none, there's no vote actually this evening, so I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Thank you, Ms. Espinoza.
Thank you.
All right, with that, that brings us to the second public comment, the 5-minute limit this evening. First, I will call up Jonathan Helton.
Good evening, Council. How are you doing today? Jonathan Helton, 5881 Pierce Street, Arvada, Colorado. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on an issue that touches not only policy but human dignity, the enforcement of trespassing laws against our homeless neighbors in Old Town. In Colorado, trespassing is addressed under Title 18, Article 4, Part 5 of the Colorado Revised Statutes. First-degree trespass is a felony and involves unlawfully entering someone's home. Second-degree trespass involves unlawfully entering or remaining in a fenced or enclosed area or in a vehicle and is typically a misdemeanor. Third-degree trespass is the lowest level and applies when someone unlawfully enters or remains on premises they do not have permission to be on, including public spaces when specifically told to leave. It's important to understand that these laws were written to protect private property rights and to ensure safety, not to exile people from public areas altogether. But in Old Town, we're seeing a disturbing pattern where individuals, particularly those who are unhoused, are being trespassed from entire neighborhoods or city zones, not for committing serious crimes, but simply for existing, sitting, or sleeping in public. This is a misuse of the law. It turns third-degree trespassing, a petty offense, into a blanket banishment from access to public property, services, and spaces that everyone has the right to use. And when the effect of enforcement is to deny a person access to essential services like food pantries, mental health outreach, and shelter assistance, we are not upholding public safety, we are undermining it. Moreover, this kind of enforcement may not even stand up in court. The U.S. Ninth Circuit Court in Martin v. City of Boise ruled that cities cannot criminalize homelessness when no adequate shelter is available. And while Colorado is in the 10th Circuit, this case is often cited nationwide as a warning. Cities that criminalize homelessness or use minor laws like trespassing to target the unhoused people have been successfully sued for violating constitutional rights, including the Eighth Amendment's protection against cruel and unusual punishment, 14th Amendment's guarantee of due process and equal protection, and the First Amendment protection of movement and public presence. If Old Town continues to issue area-wide trespass orders without due process, and especially without ensuring alternative shelter or access to services, it opens the door to legal challenge, and more importantly, it fails our moral obligation to help, not hide those most in need. Let's be clear, being poor is not a crime, and homelessness will not be solved by punishment. It will be solved by investment, by compassion, and by policies rooted in justice. Let's work together to end the misuse of trespassing laws and begin building real solutions. The state attorneys has been contacted about this issue, just so you know, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Erica Tucker.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I've been here many times, and for those that don't know me, my name is Erica. As a hospice chaplain, I held the hand of countless people who have died with compassion. Today, I ask for the compassion for Gaza's children, whose suffering is not inevitable but intentional and funded by our taxes. With a master's in divinity and graduate training in ethics, I stand before you not to debate politics, but to call it the genocide of the Palestinian people. Israel's military, armed with $3.8 billion in annual U.S. military aid, commits war crimes documented by the United Nations, World Health Organizations, International Court of Justice, and International Criminal Court. We should all agree children need food and water, yet UNICEF confirms that 1 million children in Gaza now face acute malnutrition, with 90% drinking sewage-contaminated water. We should all agree hospitals are protected under the Geneva Convention, yet Israel has destroyed 122 healthcare facilities and 170 ambulances per the WHO. At Al-Shifa Hospital, troops bulldoze neonatal wards, leaving premature infants to decompose in incubators, per Physicians for Human Rights. 94% of all healthcare facilities are destroyed, a war crime. We should all agree targeting children is a war crime. On January 29, 2024, 5-year-old Hind Rajab pleaded by phone for 12 hours as Israeli tanks shelled her family's car 335 times. The ambulance sent to rescue her was also intentionally targeted, killing 2 paramedics, Yusuf Al-Zino and Ahmad Amudan, sent to save little Hind. We should all agree starvation of a civilian population is banned under the Rome Statute, yet Israel blocks 83% of aid trucks per the World Food Program, denying 2.3 million Palestinians food. We should all agree that northern Gaza, a civilian population of 300,000 civilians, subsist on 245 calories daily. That's less than a bowl of rice. While the illegal blockade continues to refuse food trucks during a genocide, also a war crime. We should all agree sniping children is a war crime. 13-year-old Lehan Amidallah was targeted along with her entire family. Dr. Mohammed Mufasa, a surgeon who recently returned from Gaza, testified, quote, "The department was so full that it spilled out into the streets, and we were cutting people's chests open to put in chest drains in the streets." End quote. We should all agree withholding medical supplies violates international law. Israel has blocked 95% of Gaza's medical shipments since October 2023, forcing doctors to amputate limbs without anesthesia, per Physicians for Human Rights. We should all agree killing aid workers is a war crime. Australian aid worker Zomi Frankcom, who dedicated her life to feeding children and was intentionally killed by Israeli drones while supporting a World Central Kitchen aid delivery. We should all agree bombing U.S. shelters and designated safe zones is a war crime. On February 12th, IDF strikes killed 104 civilians at an UNRWA school in Khan Yunis. Using prohibited weapons, such as white phosphorus, is against the Geneva Convention and is a war crime. We should all agree that the intentional targeting of over 200 journalists and media workers, like Brave Hussein Shabbat, who used his camera as his only weapon, is a war crime per the Geneva Convention. We should all agree mass casualty events evidence genocide. 7 mass graves hold 530 bodies, including women and children with hands bound and execution-style gunshot wounds, per the UN Human Rights Council. We should all agree that the largest cohort of amputee children in modern history is a war crime, and we are funding it daily. The International Court of Justice has ruled Israel's actions plausibly genocidal, yet the U.S. supplies weapons that are prohibited per international law, including 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs used in Jabalia refugee camp, killing 126 civilians in one strike, a war crime. White phosphorus, manufactured by Monsanto, now Bayer, and Israel's chemical group, used especially on a population of children, is a war crime. This is not a distant conflict. It is our complicity funded by our government. Divestment is a legal obligation. The United States and all city councils and this board must completely divest from all war crimes. Halt military funding under Leahy laws, which bar aid to human rights violators. Demand unrestricted aid access to Gaza in the blockade. Redirect funds to rebuild 70,000 demolished homes and restore water
Ma'am, apologies, your
infrastructure.
time is up, so I'm going to ask you to conclude.
I'll conclude.
Thank you.
Prosecute war criminals via the International Criminal Court. And most importantly, this board can choose to divest all funds from Israel. History remembers those who acted. I learned while studying directly under Archbishop Desmond Tutu,
Ma'am,
South
your time
Africa's
is
apartheid
up.
fell to global divestment. I'm almost done. Complicity will be studied in future history books, and will you be remembered for funding genocide? Because I won't forget war criminals and those who voted to stay silent. Listen to anti-Zionist Jewish voices, such as Jewish Voices for Peace. Listen to Holocaust survivors.
Your
and
time
medical-
is up.
Listen
It
to
is a-
Holocaust survivors and medical
Okay.
physician Dr. Gabriel Monte, who warned
Let's go ahead and cut the
like
mic.
We are watching Auschwitz on TikTok.
Let's take a quick recess. That way we can control this disruption to our meeting.
Rules that we enforce on everyone, whether you agree or disagree, however you may feel about any issue. We enforce rules because that is how we keep control in chambers, because free speech belongs to everyone, but we must enforce because there will always be one day some kind of speech that we may not agree with, and that speech is also entitled. So I hope you can respect why we need to control the rules sometimes. It's not about the speech, it's about being able to maintain the order in the chamber. And we invite everyone to always come back and to share their speech again, however they may feel about any given issue. So with that, we have one last speaker this evening, Zion Haver Needy Manley. Please come on up.
City Council, my name is Zion Hopper-Nefe. I know it's a little bit of a harder name. It's okay.
My apologies, sir.
It's all good. I'm here to speak on the matter of the mission, right? The Rising Church, homelessness, and these serious issues. With the Rising Church, we're there to help people. We're not there to cause more problems. The fact is we're aware that there's drugs going on, there's stealing, and there's killing that is happening within our own country, within our own town. And as a fact is too, even for the homeless, they deal with various issues, such as being killed. Just a couple weeks ago, my friend Wills came to me. He told me that just a man for being homeless was murdered. And also too, my friend Carrie, she came to me being threatened by slave trafficking. And it's happening. There's kids that are out here that are homeless, and there's people that go in and look at them giving dirty looks just because they are. And it's the fact is, guess what? They've been through unfortunate circumstances. Life happens to all of us. Things could happen to where you're on the road, and you'd be praying that somebody would come and help you. But the fact is, how many people are that good Samaritan to where when they see somebody robbing or getting beaten up, actually stand up for them? Or are you part of the crowd laughing and saying, hey, keep beating that man? It's the fact is we're a nation under God, and his son, Jesus Christ, told us to love one another. The fact is life is a gift, and it's precious. We are made in God's image, and he doesn't want us to see us act in such sinful natures. But we choose to. The fact is people become so callous in heart that they don't see, they don't hear, nor they do understand. But they did see, they did hear, and understand with their heart, they would be healed. God wishes for you to see the problems that happen, judging with righteous judgment, not by just your own standard, actually seeing what is right. If you want to be part of the corruption, you are part of the problem. We want to protect our kids. Don't allow drugs into the community. You don't want your kids to be part of the sex trafficking ring? Doing something about it. Don't just sit still. Just laugh about it. You see it in movies. Guess what? It's called real life. Wake up. There's a lot of people that just go in willy-nilly thinking that it's A-okay. People that have responsibilities to protect and serve. For crying out loud, we left Britain because of, guess what? No taxation without representation. If you do not want to stand together, guess what? You will bite each other and devour each other. So the fact is, I come in standing on morality and truth. Just like how it is medical scandals. Looking at your daughter and saying you could be a man. A man doesn't have a period. I cannot produce a child in my womb. If you want to feed the lies and delude people, you are also feeding destruction. And if you're going to go and say that is not the truth, it is. A woman cannot produce semen and a man cannot produce eggs. So the fact is, it gets to a point to where it's ridiculousness, especially when everyone has YouTube and all these other social media sites, and you still can't see the truth. Have you not been to biology? Have you not seen anatomy? When you have to cut yourself in order to change something, when your own body is fighting you, that is not truth. You are denying it. I understand about abortion. Life is a gift. Doesn't mean I go and applauding rape. It's the fact is it should be stopped. And it's the same thing too with our women and men. It's called taking responsibility. If you know sex will produce a child, be mindful. Wait till marriage. But if you're not ready to handle that responsibility, don't do it. But everyone has a free choice. And I can't make everyone's decision for them. But the fact is, be mindful. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. So if you want to go look at things that are okay, just know this. The measure that you use will be measured to you. God is always watching. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in chambers who would like to give public comment at this time? Seeing none, I will close the public comment portion of this evening's agenda, and I will turn it over to City Council for council reports. Mayor Pro Tem Mormon.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have two announcements. One is this is the last week to see A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at the Arvada Center, which is really a very fun show. The set is amazing, how the animated screen behind is really cool, and how the actors interact with that. And then there's the one actor that portrays all 8 victims does an amazing job. So I was, yes, all 8. And then my other announcement is I'll be doing my monthly coffee chat on Friday, May 30th from 2 to 4 at Sweet Bloom at 77th and Wadsworth.
Councilmember Davis.
Yes, thank you. It was a busy weekend. I went to the Arbor Day celebration at Homestead Park, which was tons of fun, and the 5th grade class from Seacrest Elementary was there. Learned a lot, and those kids are smart. But talking about smart kids, I was also a judge at the Greater Arvada Chamber Civics Bee, and I really was delighted by the fact that these kids know a lot about government and about U.S. history. And some of the questions that they answered, I took a stab at, and I couldn't get. I did get 15 out of 20. But, and then on Saturday, I participated in Arvada High School's Bulldog Bustle, where I ran with Albino Guerrero, one of our Arvada cops, and he ran in full gear. So that was 3.1 miles, the last half mile being uphill. And when he was done, not a hair out of place, no sweat. He looked like it was easy. So I have faith in our youth, and our cops are in shape.
Thank you very much. Those were some really great events. I enjoyed the park planting and the civics bee. They were a lot of fun. And yeah, I got 15 too. Some of those kids, I think, got 18 or 19. They were really good. All right, and I second Gentleman's Guide. Yes, it is one actor who plays 8 different characters, and he's phenomenal. Go see it. It's really funny. I also want to note that tomorrow at 9 a.m. here at Arvada City Hall, we have our Fallen Officer Memorial. Arvada has lost 2 officers in the past handful of years, and so we honor them as well as those fallen in the past. So please join us. It is open to the public, the ceremony. And then I also want to note that tomorrow is the Arvada Chamber of Commerce Annual Awards, where they recognize numerous awards, but also the Man and Woman of the Year. So I want to congratulate Keith Cowling and Barb Stolt on their Man and Woman of the Year awards. With that, Ms. Haley.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. If I could take a moment to just thank you very much for your kind words this evening, but most importantly for the opportunity that you gave me to be the interim city manager. I've learned so much and have grown an appreciation for all of you as a collective body, but each of you individually as well. What you do for our community and the jobs that you have as elected officials are not easy, and that appreciation is very strong in the 10 months that I've had to be able to learn and grow from each of you. So thank you so much for that opportunity. And I also want to say there's no way this could have happened without the support and trust and confidence, not only that you gave me, but especially our team, our leadership team. Dawn, leadership team, thank you so much. I just appreciate it. So with that, we have a workshop next week, and we'll be talking about water, wastewater, and stormwater rates for 2026. So
Councilmember Davis's favorite topic.
Thank you.
Ms. Morris?
I don't have anything, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, with that, we stand adjourned.